Monarchs, today it is still not morning, it is literally 3:20 in the afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about Persona. Have you ever heard of it? You never see it coming. Persona is a series about a band of characters coming together to solve some sort of mystery involving another world. And in this other world, characters are forced to face their worst traits in order to gain something called a persona. A persona is a manifestation of willpower. These characters use their personas to advance deeper into these places called palaces. Palaces are a creation within this other world that is invoked by one single person who has an incredibly evil desire. Their evil desire manifests as what is called a shadow. The characters are then left with a choice. To change the heart of somebody is to defeat their shadow and force the person to face their shadow in order to change and grow as a person, or to simply just stand by and ignore everything like everybody else. The topics that these games handle are incredibly deep and at times very dark, which is why I want to talk about it today, because I love media that talks about mental health. So what does this have to do with the title of today's video? There is a strange phenomenon with me whenever it comes to really good media where I start to associate certain tasks or certain actions with that of one from a game. For example, going to a museum in real life might remind me of the museum from Animal Crossing. But what I did not know about these associations is that if the association is close enough to reality, I could actually start to use that to my advantage. If you've ever heard of the tactic of video gamifying your life, then you're probably not alone. A lot of people tend to struggle doing tasks like doing their laundry, washing dishes, cleaning the house, and to be fair, I don't blame them because I was in the same boat too. Being as I have ADHD, it only makes it incredibly more difficult. So I tried a lot of different ways to get myself to do tasks more efficiently. Oh my gosh. You see this? She wants to be part of this video again. Say something. Come on, you were talkative earlier. Why did she just go limp? I tried a lot of different ways to make my life easier. First, I tried downloading this app called Habitica. Is that, I don't know how to pronounce that. Habitica. I think it's Habitica. Which basically made it so that when you completed tasks, you earned XP in order to level up and stuff in that game. But to me, it wasn't really as satisfying as it should have been. And having to go out of my way to open the app and to mark off the things that I've done instead of it automatically just, completing like how it would in a game, kind of was a big deterrent for me. So I slowly stopped using that app. And I started thinking, well, what other way is there to make my life feel more interesting? And that's where Persona comes in. Half of the gameplay of Persona is quite literally just living life. You're tasked with completing a palace within a certain amount of days. And within those amount of days, you're also supposed to balance regular school life and just life in general. So you have to do stuff like clean the house, hang out with friends, spend time studying, cook, and something about the way that they make the character so positive and willing to do every single task had a major impact on me. I started to notice that doing tasks like walking to the store or clean my headphones, and I found it oddly satisfying. In fact, I almost felt like I was playing Persona in real life, but of course, that's kind of silly. But that's kind of the point, though. It is kind of silly to make your life feel like a game. It is kind of silly to associate games with real life, but, who cares, right? Stuff's getting done. I'm cleaning the house more often than I ever have. I'm getting laundry done more frequently than I would have. Hell, I walked to the store when it was pouring rain because it reminded me of Persona. I would have never done that. I would have just driven to the store and back. Because I found this association, I started to actually enjoy doing life instead of feeling burdened with it. What's even crazier is that Persona got me into journaling again. When I was a kid, I used to spend a little bit of time each night just journaling what I did during the day in a small little notebook. And I would do that every single night. I was told to do that by my therapist, but I never really understood the intention behind it or anything, so I just did it out of obligation. Ever since then, I stopped, and I never picked it up again until a few weeks ago. I had the epiphany of using my journal as a way to remember what I did these past few days. Because, I don't know about you, man, but these days are just flying by. And most of the time, I just feel like I'm doing nothing. And when I try to remember what I did last week, I can't remember it at all. So, in a way, I'm kind of saving my progress in this little journal so I can look back at the weeks prior and remember little details and things that I did during my day that I wouldn't have normally have remembered. So for me, it's super useful to keep track of that because I always feel that lack of control whenever it comes to my memory, since I don't have control over what my brain decides to forget. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video, and don't forget about this, I'm still giving this away. If you haven't seen the YouTube short that I posted, if you want to win this, just go watch that short linked down below. That's gonna be it for me today. See you in the next one. That's it. That's the video.